There is a beach in Canada where the water reaches 24 degrees Celsius in the middle of summer. Children splash in the shallows for hours without a wetsuit. Adults float comfortably without shivering the moment they step out. This is not the Caribbean. This is not the Mediterranean. This is a lake in British Columbia. But here's the problem. Most Canadians have been culturally conditioned to believe that swimming in their own country is strictly an exercise in cold water tolerance. That's where this becomes dangerous, because accepting that narrative means you are missing out on months of incredible beach living right in your own backyard, blinding yourself to the actual geographical diversity of the country. And this changes everything. The established narrative insists a Canadian beach day involves a brief plunge followed by wrapping yourself in 3 towels. We look at a map, see how far north we are, and automatically assume the water must be glacial. You assume any time in the water requires a thick neoprene wetsuit. But latitude is only a fraction of the equation. Depth, ocean currents, and valley orientations dictate actual water temperature far more than a simple line on a map. We analyzed the topographical data, ocean currents, and historical temperatures. We searched for beach towns where summer water temperatures consistently reach truly swimmable levels. Not tolerable, actually warm. We found 7 beach towns where you can swim in Canadian water without suffering. Number 7 takes us to the Atlantic coast. Summerside, Prince Edward Island. Facing the Northumberland Strait, this town is heavily influenced by warm Gulf Stream currents. This unique geography creates rare conditions. The Northumberland Strait operates completely differently from the open Atlantic Ocean. Because Prince Edward Island acts as a massive geographical barrier, the strait is physically protected from the freezing Labrador Current that chills the rest of the eastern seaboard. Instead, the water here sits relatively undisturbed. Because it is protected from the deeper freezing currents, the summer sun penetrates all the way to the sandy bottom, creating a thermal trap that holds the heat for weeks. By August, water temperatures regularly hit between 18 and 20 degrees Celsius. You can buy a house here for an average of $285,000. Summerside offers a functioning downtown and the Prince County Hospital. The consideration is the short window. The swimming is perfect in August, but by September, temperatures drop and the island returns to its traditional Atlantic climate. Number 6 moves us to the Great Lakes, Parlee Beach, Ontario. Sitting on Lake Huron, this town has a permanent population of just 600, but expands into the thousands in summer. The beach is 11 kilometers of unbroken sand. The sand here isn't just a scenic backdrop, it is a prehistoric deposit from the last ice age. The water remains waist-deep for hundreds of meters into Lake Huron. Because the volume of water near the shore is so low, the sun's energy isn't wasted heating deep, dark columns of water. Furthermore, because the beach faces perfectly west, it acts as a massive solar panel, heating the shallows efficiently through the longest parts of the afternoon. By late July, temperatures sit between 20 and 22 degrees. The average house price is $485,000, driven largely by proximity to Toronto. The trade-off is intense seasonality. Parlee Beach exists almost entirely for summer. When winter arrives, the local economy scales back dramatically, leaving a very quiet, isolated community. Number 5 brings us to the Pacific Coast, Parksville, British Columbia. Facing the Georgia Strait, this town experiences a unique tidal and meteorological phenomenon. The town sits directly in the rain shadow of the Vancouver Island Ranges. This geographical shield blocks the worst of the Pacific weather systems, creating a localized microclimate that receives significantly more sunshine than the west coast of the island. The tidal flats of Parksville are a masterclass in natural water heating. When the tide goes out, it retreats for nearly a full kilometer. That exposed sand bakes under direct sunlight for hours, absorbing massive amounts of solar radiation. When the Pacific tide finally rolls back over that superheated sand, the water temperature spikes instantly, reaching 16 to 18 degrees Celsius. For the open Pacific Ocean in Canada, this is remarkable. The average house price sits at $485,000, delivering a year-round mild climate. The reality check is that 18 degrees is still cool compared to inland lakes, and the region requires an adjustment to island living. Number 4 takes us back to the Atlantic, Shediac, New Brunswick. This town of 7,500 famously markets itself as the lobster capital of the world, but its true treasure is Parlee Beach. Facing the same Northumberland Strait that warms Summerside, the New Brunswick side captures even slightly higher temperatures. Parlee Beach is sheltered by a unique dune ecosystem that blocks cold wind while trapping ambient heat. Shediac is also the heart of Acadian culture, meaning the beach town experience here is deeply intertwined with a centuries-old French-speaking community that has built a highly sustainable local economy around the warm months. The water here regularly reaches 20 to 22 degrees Celsius. This is legitimately warm ocean water. The average house price is an incredibly affordable $245,000. Shediac maintains solid local services and integrates its famous seafood economy directly with its beach culture. But just like PEI, the warm season is brief. After Labor Day, the town empties out and the maritime winter takes control. Number 3 is a massive stretch of freshwater sand, Wasaga Beach, Ontario. Sitting on Georgian Bay, this town boasts a 14-kilometer beach of powdery sand. It is actually the longest freshwater beach in the entire world. The geological curvature of Wasaga Bay catches the prevailing winds, which physically push the sun-warmed surface water directly toward the shoreline. This creates a continuous pooling effect of warm water right where people swim. Water temperatures regularly reach between 22 and 24 degrees Celsius. Because of this, Wasaga Beach represents Ontario beach culture at its most developed peak. The average house price is $565,000, driven by millions escaping Toronto. The trade-off here is the sheer volume of humanity. Summer weekends bring heavy gridlock traffic, straining local infrastructure. It is a highly active, heavily commercialized environment. Number 2 moves us into the hottest region in the country, Kelowna, British Columbia. Sitting on Okanagan Lake, Kelowna is the urban center of Canada's warmest region. The Okanagan Valley acts as a massive funnel for summer heat, and the deep waters of the lake act as a massive thermal battery. Throughout the relentless summer, the lake absorbs the valley's intense heat. Water temperatures easily reach 20 to 22 degrees Celsius. This thermal battery effect not only makes the water perfect for swimming, but it creates the exact microclimate needed for the surrounding world-class vineyards to survive the winter. You are living surrounded by rolling vineyards and fruit orchards that rely on this sustained summer heat to thrive. The beaches are highly developed, offering a vibrant urban beach culture. But this comes at a premium. The average house price is $785,000. Kelowna offers every major urban amenity, but the traffic is intense and the housing costs are high. Taking the number 1 spot is a geographical extreme, Osoyoos, British Columbia. Sitting right where Canada meets Washington State, Osoyoos is technically the northernmost tip of the Sonoran Desert, the exact same arid ecosystem that stretches all the way down into Mexico. You will find prickly pear cactus and antelope brush just steps from the beach. The valley is protected by mountains, and summer heat regularly exceeds 35 degrees Celsius. The lake is essentially a shallow basin sitting inside a solar oven. Because Osoyoos Lake is relatively shallow, it absorbs all that desert heat. Water temperatures regularly reach between 24 and 26 degrees Celsius. In exceptional summers, it hits 27. Children swim for hours. Adults float completely submerged without cold water shock. The average house price is $545,000, delivering the warmest, swimmable water in the country. The consideration is the intense heat. The exact same temperatures that make the lake a bathtub also make midday outdoor activities a physical challenge. The psychological impact of discovering that you do not need a passport to experience a genuine beach holiday is fundamentally shifting domestic real estate. As international travel becomes increasingly expensive and complicated, Canadians are quietly redirecting their vacation funds into permanent domestic escapes. These aren't just summer novelty towns anymore. They are rapidly becoming highly coveted climate havens. You are no longer just buying a house near the water, you are buying into a lifestyle that completely defies the national freezing stereotype. From the warm Gulf Stream currents of Summerside to the desert heat of Osoyoos, water temperatures range from 18 up to 27 degrees Celsius. These are real communities with functioning schools, grocery stores, and local economies that just happen to sit adjacent to some of the most surprising aquatic anomalies in North America. They prove definitively that swimming in Canada does not require thick wetsuits. These towns exist specifically for people who want the authentic beach lifestyle without leaving their country. The season is shorter than the Caribbean, and real estate prices reflect the realities of the Canadian housing market. But the swimming is real. The water is genuinely warm, and the beaches are right here, hidden in Canada. The question is whether you are willing to relocate to do it. Your move.